Hi friends, it's Julie Golding-Page, independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator, here along the tidal Scoodic or St. Croix River in St. Stephen, New Brunswick, Canada, the traditional territory and home of the Passamaquoddy. And I'm grateful that they share this beautiful place with us. Today I have a simple stamping card for you made with very few materials. And so I hope that you'll find that helpful as you get ready for the Christmas card season, and if you need to make multiples. And it's really easy on your bank account as well because you don't have to buy very many papers or other things. So I hope you'll like it. So let's get right to it, and I'm going to switch to my desk here, make sure that I've got it all in the right way here. Okay, looks good. Okay, so first of all, I wanted to just give you a couple of pieces of news and then we'll get right to the card. So first of all, my winter events were supposed to close on 27th of November, but I decided to keep them open through the end of the 30th of November. I'm right in the thick of craft fair and vendor fair season right now, so I've been really busy and it's been a little hard to keep up with everything. And I haven't really been able to tell people about these different events as much as I'd like to, and so I'm just going to keep those open. If you want to find out about them, they're online and in-person events both, so you can choose. And just click through on the link that's right here in the post. It'll take you to my website and it details what each of those events is like. So the themes range from a tag kit that we're going to do in person. I just have one space left for that one. And the online classes do have more room though. And I have a couple of Valentine related things. One is about bees with a stamp set from last year that's still current. Another Valentine one is brand new from this year. That's going to be a different suite altogether. And then there's also a fireworks class and an otter class, which is super cute. So have a look at those if you're interested. And again, I'm leaving them open until the 30th of November. All right, so those are my upcoming January events. I also have a November special that is good through the end of November, so until the end of the 30th. And that is with any order of a minimum $30 before tax and shipping. That's a product order. Then you can get a free spool of ribbon. So usually I have my threshold for the freebies higher than this, but this month for the holiday season and whatnot, I am putting it down and just saying thank you to my customers. So $30 minimum purchase for that one. And this one is the holiday tag event that I just mentioned a minute ago. So this has one space left for the in-person class here in St. Stephen. It's going to be on Thursday, the 5th of December, and I just ask you to RSVP as soon as you can. The official deadline is December 1st, but I do only have one kit left. So if you're interested in that, let me know right away. And let's go, without further ado, right to our card. So here is our simple stamping card. So this is going to be a pretty quick make here. So as always, I like to start with my stamping. Here is my little kit. So this shows you, if you've never taken a class with me, either in person or online, this is what you get. You get all the pre-cut pieces. And I've got them all in here. So there's our cute paper. And there's our little tags as well. And then, of course, our card base. So let's go ahead and look at these little pieces. So I wanted to let you know I die cut these using one of my favorite die sets called Stylish Shapes dies. So here's what they look like. So these aren't as, I don't know, they aren't as exciting maybe as some of the dies that are specific to particular pictures and stuff like that in the stamp sets. But they are super, super useful. I use them year-round on all kinds of cards for many, many different reasons. So once again, if you're looking for those, they're called Stylish Shapes dies. And I don't think you'll be sorry if you get those. If you don't have a demonstrator already and you'd like some help with your order, or you'd like to order with me and get my special ordering promo, sorry about that, just let me know and I'll be happy to help you out. You can also use the Shop Now button, which is right in my Facebook page on Julie's Craft Attic, and that'll take you right to it. Okay, so that's those. And that's those little die cuts. And this one is made with the perennial postage dies. Now this is also a very useful set that I've come to love a lot. So you can do all kinds of labels with these smaller ones, or just add shapes to your cards. And they've got squares, they've got rectangles. They've got this little thing to make kind of a hole in your tag and make a tag out of things. And then they've got these two large rectangles. So this one is the second largest one. So not the biggest one, but the next one in. And I find that's the one I use the most actually, because as you can see, it leaves a bit of space around the exterior of it, and it just really adds something to your card. So I cut these all in advance, and now we can just go ahead and start putting all the pieces together. And as you can see, there's only a few pieces. For this whole card, including the card base, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 pieces, and then we add embellishments. That's it. So very few materials, and it would work with any colors, any papers that you want. So let's take our little label here first. And I'd love to hear where you're watching from today. And tell me, do you have snow in the forecast? I had a couple of options today for the card I wanted to do, and I picked this one because for the first time this season, we have snow in our forecast. They say we're supposed to get up to 10 or even 15 centimeters overnight. Now they're predicting it with rain too, so I'm not really sure how that's going to go. I don't know if we'll really get the snow or if it'll all turn to rain, but it's our first glimpse of holiday snow. So I'd love to hear if you have snow in your forecast as well. Okay, now the stamp set we're going to be using is this one, Greetings of the Season. So I like this because it's all sentiments, and it's good whether you and your friends and family celebrate Christmas or not, actually, because there's also Happy Holidays as well as Merry Christmas. And you've got a variety of different sizes, fonts. You've got this kind of sentiment that could be really good to use as an interior to your card or on the outside of the card as well. And then it's the most wonderful time of year. And that could be whether you celebrate Christmas or another one of the winter holidays. So let's open this up, and we're going to use Happy Holidays. And I'm going to show you what I'm going to do to put those together. So let's move that stuff out of the way. So here's Happy, and Holidays is here as well. So I'm using Happy Holidays because it's a good one that is kind of in between. Anybody can kind of identify with it. And then it doesn't matter if you celebrate Christmas or you don't, since I have friends who are in both categories. And if you can see there, what I've done is I've put them right flush up against each other so that they'll be straight. And I'll put them on the block now. So I put them here so that I could actually read the words. So I can see Happy Holidays right side up. And I'm going to pick it up with the block right now, right in the middle. And I'll show you. See how they're right next to each other? So that means they'll be straight when I stamp them as well, so that I'll get this kind of result. I find that if I try to stamp them separately as two different words on two different blocks, inevitably one of them is going to be crooked on me. So maybe you can do a better job than I can, but this is the way I get around that. I just put them right next to each other on the block first together, and then I can go ahead and stamp. And I just realized I don't have my ink, so I'm just going to grab it. So we're going to use this ink right here, which is Garden Green, and that's also the color of this cardstock that we've got, and that's the color of the green accents in our paper. So if you're not familiar with Stampin' Up, Stampin' Up has coordinating products. So when you buy a set of their pattern paper like this, they will tell you all of the colors that are used in it by name. And then you can decide what inks you want that are the same colors that are already in the paper. You can decide which cardstocks you want that also coordinate with whatever is in the paper. And I just really like that because it makes it super easy to make something that's really nicely coordinated. And you don't have to fuss over, you know, this green doesn't match that green or whatever. I'm sure we've all had that kind of frustration. So you'll also see that what I did here was I put these stamps right in the middle of the block That's so I'll get even pressure. If you put them toward the top, bottom, or sides, you're kind of rocking a little bit, and that will mean you'll have uneven pressure. So let's see if I can do this and get it to work out. So we're just going to lower that down and wait a few seconds, and hopefully it'll stamp nicely for us. Yeah. So there's my Happy Holidays little label, and we can carry on from there. All right, so I'm just washing this up in my chamois, and this is a special foamy material you get from Stampin' Up. They don't cost much. And I've just put it in an empty stamp box, which is basically like a DVD box, kind of the same thing. And you just put water on it, wring it out gently, and reuse it over and over. So you're just cleaning your stamps with water. And I love that because I don't like using a lot of chemicals. So that makes me happy when it's something safe like water. All right, let's put those back in our container here. I find with these photopolymer stamps that you can see through, if I don't put them away immediately, they can easily get lost. They're so sticky, they stick to other things on your desk, and then you can't see them because they're transparent. So I try to put them away right away. And you would have noticed too, I used a cardboard underneath. That's to give a cushion on the photopolymer stamp so that you get a good resolution of your image. Okay, so there's not much to do on this one actually. This is called Snowy Scenes paper. So you'll see some of the paper looks like this with little bitty snow globes. Some will have other patterns on the back like that. And I'll show you a few other cards I've also made with this paper. So one of these cards I actually put on my blog yesterday. So if you go through to juliescraftaddict.com and look at yesterday's post, you'll see how to make this particular card. So I like that they have many options. So you can see what I did is I cut out the big snow globe and stuck it onto the card. I used that same perennial postage die here, and it looks completely different than this card though. And this background is another pattern that you get in your paper, your Snowy Scenes paper. And the cool thing is you can get it either just as paper, or you can get an additional matching sticker sheet that you can use for scrapbooking, card making, or just putting on the envelope as you wish. Shannon says she's in Calgary and you've had snow for a couple of weeks, over a foot. Yeah, that's a lot. So we'll see if we get that. That's the idea, that we might anyway. But they forecast it for all of New Brunswick, which is a pretty big area. So oftentimes we don't get the same weather as other parts of the province. So we shall see. Maybe next week I'll let you know. You can always ask me if I forget to tell you. So that's one card. Here's another card I made with this paper. So I used one of the snow globes behind, and you can see from that glare there, that's a window sheet in there, and it's a shaker card. So you get all these cute little snowflakes around the penguin. And this is another one of the decorative papers that comes in that same pack. And this is from the stamp set. So there's all kinds of options with that particular paper. Oh, here's another one. So this is the other side of the snow globe paper. It's the snowflakes. And then I used the accompanying stamp set to make all of those other items as well. All right, so let's go ahead and we will put this on. And it looks like my tape glue, my Stampin' Seal, is not here for some reason. Apparently, I must have moved it. I never move it. That is really weird, but okay. You ever find stuff goes missing when you need it? That seems to only happen when I'm on a video. And suddenly, the thing that's always there is not there. Anybody experience that when you're crafting? Oh well, that's okay. We use this terrific glue, which is the multi-purpose liquid glue. I always use this fine tip because you don't need much. You can see I just have a little tiny line of it on there. I like to put it a little ways back from the edge just so it won't all ooze out the side. And then I can just kind of press it down. That should work really well. Okay, so there's our panel. And now we'll need our card base. So here's our card base that I pre-scored already. All right, and let's use the bone folder here and get a nice crisp fold there so it'll lie flat for us. Those bone folders are the greatest things. I just use it all the time. Folding anything, actually, not just cards. All right, so let's take this and we will use our little dimensionals, these little hexagons. We'll put that on the back. All right, here we go. So is everybody a fan of snow globes? I think they're super cute, and it's fun that they're coming out with all kinds of varieties of them now. It's not just snow and snow globes anymore. You can find almost anything inside a globe, and little sequins or glitter or whatever. I just think they're really cute. Okay, and now we're going to attach these two together. So this is Poppy Parade, and then this is Basic White. So what I'm going to do is just put a little bit of glue down the center here. That's all. I'll show you closer up here. So just a little line of it there in the middle, and then we'll kind of eyeball it here to put it together. And the good thing about using the liquid glue as opposed to the Stampin' Seal is you can kind of move it around, and that's really helpful if you're lining something up and you didn't quite get it where you wanted it the first time. You can just sort of move it and then it'll be where you'd like it to be. So that looks pretty nice. Now we're going to use our dimensionals and just stick that right on the paper. So let's get that on there. And we'll stick that right in here like that. So already we've got a very nice card, and we hardly did anything to make that. A little bit of die cutting to start with before I was on camera, but that's it. And now I'm going to use my very favorite embellishments. These are Rhinestone Basic Jewels. I think they're the least expensive self-stick ones that they have. They're only $8.25, and you get 140 of these little guys in 3 different sizes. So small, medium, and large. You can see I've used a whole bunch of these ones because I use them all the time. And they add a nice little bit of sparkle. So I'm just going to follow what I did on the other card here. And I had a big one here and a tiny one up here. Then I'm going to use my tool for this. It's easier. This is the Take Your Pick tool. So it has putty on one end that really helps in picking up these little teeny things. There, you can see it's right on the tip of that. There's the shine. And let's see, I put the other one kind of here-ish. And then a medium-sized one over there, kind of like that. And 2 more. So another tiny one. I think I'll put it right there. And let's get a large one. And I'm going to lodge it right under here. So slightly underneath that label, just to have a little bit of unifying force between the label and the embellishments. So I've got these 2, and these 2, and these 2. So I've got 3 groups of them just to keep it an odd number for the best design. And in fact, that is the last bit of this card. So it is all done. It's as easy as that. So thank you very much for joining me today. Please make sure you check out the blog post that goes along with this. I've got my full supply list there. And if you click on any of the photos of the supplies, it opens up into my shop. So if you need to shop for anything, you can do that. And I've also got a link right here in the video if you'd like to join my newsletter. So thanks again for joining me, and have a wonderfully crafty week. Bye for now.